Hey there guys, Mike here again. Thanks for clicking this video. Welcome to my channel. This video we're going to do something a little bit different, but sort of the same. As you might know from my previous videos and a playlist, I like to collect Coleman Lanterns. I like to find them, I like to fix them up, I like to flip them, and I keep a few. Some of you wanted to know what type of lanterns I've had. Well, they're banished here to the shed, so what we'll do is we'll pull them out and we'll take a look at them. I'm not a lantern hoarder. To me, the story of the lantern and how I obtained it and what I did to it is more important. So let's go have a look and I'll show you my lanterns. So this lantern here is one of the first lanterns I found that was quite old, and I didn't really know what it was because there was no markings or no dates on it. And when I took it home, I realized that it's actually called an LZ, and it was made for department stores like Montgomery Ward's and Sears, and it dates back to the 1930s. And I wasn't even looking for this lantern. It kind of just stumbled across when I was looking for some other parts that I was finding on Craigslist. I just happened to ask the guy, do you have any lanterns? And he says, yeah, I think I got this one. It was a bit of a basket case, but I fixed it all up. Oh, in case you're wondering, if you're into collecting, you should get one of these books. The Guide to Vintage Coleman Products. It has just about all the Coleman lanterns ever produced in North America and exported to the world. So this lantern here was one that I just kind of discovered. I was actually going to a guy's place to find a little Briggs & Stratton engine for my son's mini bike. And I just happened to ask him, do you got any Coleman lanterns? And he says, yeah, I have this one. As it turns out, this one was actually broken. I had to solder in a new pump tube because the socket for the check valve was actually cracked and was leaking air. So I pulled that all out and I fixed it all up and it works perfectly now. It's one of my favorite lanterns, a 220B. Made in 1931. It's called a Quick Light, and it was the first lantern that came off the Canadian factory, and this one was made in 1923. Still runs like a champ. I do have an aftermarket mica globe in here, and this is how it would have come back in the day. 242B, and it's an early version of Coleman's single mantle lanterns. This one is also made in Canada, and it was made in 1937. Has kind of a neat globe, made in England. I'm pretty sure that's not original, but I like it. And you can tell it's an early one by the early valve wheel here. They look a little bit different. This here is a Canadian 200. It's made in 1159, so it's an earlier one. Nothing too unique or rare about it, but they're nice to keep when you're going car camping. They're nice and small and they last a long time. I can fill this up with a tank of fuel and let it run for a couple hours, no problem. So this is another 200, so a Canadian 200 single mantle. This one's a little bit different because it has the nickel font. So these two lanterns here are pretty much the same. They all have the same parts except for the fonts are different. And the valve wheels too. And why I like this lantern here is that it's not an original lantern. It was actually came from a parts bin. Our fellow collector, Jan, he gave this to me, missing some parts, and I had some parts, so I put it together. So when a fellow collector kind of gifts you another lantern, just kind of take it and cherish it. Here's a Coleman 639. Now, it's not a really particular rare lantern per se. It's just a Coleman kerosene single mantle. What makes this one unique is it's an official CP rail lantern, and you can see by the engraving right there. I got a custom globe made up. Pretty cool. Why I like this lantern is my old neighbor Ron for 20 years. He worked for CP Rail for over 40 years, and I hear a lot of cool, interesting rail stories from him. So I'll be keeping this one. Last but not least is my Coleman 242K. Now this is somewhat of a rare bird. Coleman only made these for 2 years, and it's a single mantle kerosene lantern. And what makes them special is that this unique little valve wheel, unique to this lantern, and plus Coleman only made these for 2 years, so they're a little rare. And this one is made in December of 35, so 1235. I stumbled across this one in a little thrift shop or like a gift shop. It kind of sells candles and potpourris and stuff like this, and this was actually on display. I just grabbed it, went up to the counter, and I said, "This for sale?" The lady went to the back, came back up front and said, yeah, 30 bucks and it's yours. Needless to say, it followed me home. So a couple cool little stories on some of my favorite lanterns. So wait till it gets dark and we'll go ahead and light some up. So with these older lanterns here, there's no pump, so you have to use one of these manual pumps. Do the tip cleaner a couple times, and then we have to warm everything up with the torch. There we go. It is on. These are very simple lanterns. I hope you found my lanterns interesting and the story behind each one of them. If you're new to collecting or want to get into collecting, I recommend getting this book. It's called The Guide to Vintage Coleman Products, and it pretty much has all the lanterns made in Canada and the United States and imported for the rest of the world. There's also the Coleman's Collector's Forum, which is a really good resource as well. You can lurk or you can participate in all the forum action. Once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next video.